Very good evening to you. We begin here. The Hawks Police and South African Revenue Service officials have raided the Umhlanga home of controversial businesswoman Shauwn Mkhize this afternoon. It follows a preservation order granted by the Durban High Court. Our reporter Silethiwe Ndlovu has been stationed outside the home. Silethiwe, good evening to you. Let's start with what you were able to see. Was there anything of significance taken by law enforcement?
Good evening, Xoli. So as you have already mentioned, we have been stationed outside the home for a number of hours now. I just want to go back to what we saw earlier on. So we saw quite a bit of heavy police presence at this particular home that is behind me. As you stated, this is the home of the businesswoman Shauwn Mkhize. Now, what we saw earlier on was that there was one official that exited the residence, and what she had in her hand was a file. After her, there was a SARS official that also exited this particular residence, and he had plastic sleeves in his hand that had a number of documents. Now, we do know that, as you've already mentioned, this is something that has been going on for quite some time now between SARS and Shauwn Mkhize. Earlier on, again, Xoli, we did see a company that was here at this particular residence. It was, in fact, a locksmith company. Now, there were questions regarding what it is a locksmith's company could be doing at this particular residence. We did inquire about what they were doing here. However, there was no information that we received from them. However, we did see that there was heavy equipment or tools that were taken in this particular house that is behind me. We also saw the now ex-husband of Shauwn Mkhize, who was standing on his balcony. We did not, however, see Shauwn Mkhize during this raid. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, there are quite a number of allegations when you are talking about Shauwn Mkhize. Just recently, it was reported, a while ago rather, it was reported that soccer team, Royal AM Football Club, was sponsored by the Msunduzi municipality, and there were funds that were given to this particular football club. However, there was a public outcry coming from a lot of people asking questions in terms of how the Msunduzi municipality was able to give or to sponsor this particular football club because they are failing in terms of service delivery. Again, as you mentioned, there have been a number of reports when you are talking about allegation in terms of tax evasion. Even just recently, a couple of months ago, there were additional reports that were reported on by a number of media outlets stating that Shauwn Mkhize does allegedly owe SARS 37 million. However, it was also stated that she could possibly lose 13 of her luxury cars. However, SARS, of course, did not confirm this particular number, as they do not divulge that particular information. And lastly, Xoli, if you look at that particular statement that was, released by SARS, we do understand that this particular operation was granted by the KwaZulu-Natal local division of the Durban High Court. This is a case that was against the SARS commissioner and Shauwn Mkhize and others, where we're told that they were looking for evidence that can be potentially linked to tax evasion. And also they were looking for assets, Xoli, that can, and they were trying to prevent the selling of those assets when they are trying to get back that money that could potentially be owed to SARS. So we don't really have, that information in terms of tangible assets that were taken from this particular house. However, we do know that there were a number of documents that were taken out of the residence by SARS officials.
Silethiwe Ndlovu, thank you very much for that comprehensive update live for us outside the Durban home of Shauwn Mkhize.